What is Polkadot? The Polkadot crypto project is a next-generation blockchain that establishes a multi-chain framework. It has attracted many investors, developers, and users, and is widely regarded as one of the most innovative ventures in the cryptocurrency sector. The Polkadot ecosystem, powered by the DOT network's native coin, aims to address several of the current constraints of blockchains, such as scalability and security. It functions as a solution that combines the technology features. The concept was created in 2016 and took a few years to come. The DOT coin did not enter the market until August 2020, and Polkadot was listed on Coinbase in June 2021, giving it final recognition. Polkadot is deemed inventive for a reason. Decentralization, speed, and security in a trustless environment are all characteristics of blockchains. While most blockchains have one or a few of these distinguishing characteristics, their current architecture isn't designed to support all of them simultaneously. The most popular platform for dApps, for example, is Ethereum. It is currently not very scalable and has costly prices, especially when it has heavy traffic. On the other hand, EOS prioritizes decentralization over speed and fee-free transactions. These networks are disconnected from one another, with little to no information being transmitted. Consider the case of various banks that aren't authorized to interact. We wouldn't be able to transfer money smoothly from one to the other. Consider email. Their compatibility allows us to move data from a Yahoo account to a Gmail account, for example. A lack of compatibility now hampers the widespread use of blockchain technology. Polkadot is attempting to fill this void. What is the Polkadot network in crypto? Polkadot is a blockchain with a core network called the relay chain, connecting and communicating with other blockchains. The relay chain hosts blockchains and manages their security and transactions, providing seamless cross-chain interoperability, the connection between distinct blockchains. Polkadot, in reality, not only allows users to send DOT tokens across blockchains, but it also allows them to converse and exchange the actual data. As a result, interoperability is the central issue that Polkadot attempts to solve. Instead of being separate organizations that operate independently, blockchains should be integrated into a single ecosystem where data and money may be securely shared in a scalable manner. Polkadot even resolves communication between these two unique types of networks, even though private blockchains have slightly different technological protocols than public blockchains. The scalability, interoperability, and security given by Polkadot's flexible and adaptable network architecture enable developers to use the scalability, interoperability, and guarantee offered. As a result, Polkadot's network is a huge step forward for developers and entrepreneurs looking to create a new blockchain from the ground up. When developing a new blockchain, developers must establish a one-of-a-kind state machine and consensus algorithm, which is challenging to implement and takes a long time. Polkadot's core architecture tries to solve this by removing the need to create blockchains from the ground up. The substrate modular architecture is used to build a blockchain in Polkadot, allowing users to plug in the features they need while updating them as needed. Furthermore, it enables developers to tailor the chain design, choose specific components that meet their needs, and connect blockchains to other networks like Ethereum and Bitcoin. How does Polkadot work? Polkadot offers a primary network, the relay chain, and parallel blockchains known as parachains. Let's take a closer look at the network's design and the technological components of the system and how they interact. The protocol of the relay chain determines the network's shared security, consensus, and interoperability between chains. It is the system that connects other network participants and ensures transaction finality, keeping the entire infrastructure together. The relay chain was designed to provide the bare minimum of functionality. Smart contracts, for example, are not supported, and the chain's primary duty is to coordinate the entire system, including parachains. Parallelized chains are referred to as parachains. They are independent blockchains with their coins and governance and their own set of use cases. Parachains, on the other hand, utilize and benefit from the relay chain's security and interoperability for transaction finality. The relay chain allows parachain system to run smoothly, allowing developers and users to focus on other goals such as privacy and scalability and their applications. In essence, parachains gain access to one of the network's most valuable features: the ability to use Polkadot's proven security and fast scalable transaction speeds. To join in the Polkadot network, parachains must lease slots, which are restricted to 100. Due to the limited amount of space available, parachain slot allocation may become competitive and challenging to get in the future. There are 3 methods for obtaining a slot assignment. 1. Parathreads and parachains have similar roles, however they operate on a pay-as-you-go model, which allows them to work just when needed and does not require a constant connection to the relay chain. 2. Parathreads can participate in the parachain without having to rent a parachain slot. Parathreads will have a slower block time than parachains, but they will have the same level of security and compatibility. Any blockchain can also flip between being a parachain or a parathread, depending on the slot availability and demands of the relay chain. 3. Finally, bridges allow parachains and parathreads to interface with external networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum, enhancing the interoperability of the Polkadot blockchain. Bridges may one day enable the swapping of different tokens and coins without a central exchange. Governance. In a blockchain, governance refers to the process of deciding, implementing, and enforcing transaction and block verification rules. It can be defined as integrating the norms and codes and the people and structures that enable a specific organization's survival. Polkadot's governance is built on the proof-of-stake protocol, which has the primary purpose of ensuring that the majority of the stake always has authority over the network. Polkadot's proof-of-stake is a nominated proof-of-stake (NPOS) system in which validators are backed by their stake as a symbol of faith in their good behavior. The key difference with the more generic delegated proof-of-stake (DPoS) mechanism used in EOS, for example, is that if nominators choose a lousy validator, they risk losing their stake. Polkadot's multi-layered governance mechanism enables protocol modifications to be implemented without the need for hard forks. What sets Polkadot apart from Ethereum? Polkadot and Ethereum 2.0, the upcoming significant update to Ethereum, have a lot in common in architecture and operation. Both networks have a main blockchain, where transactions are completed and create multiple smaller blockchains that use the main blockchain's resources. Staking rather than mining is used by both technologies to maintain the network in sync. The question of how to make network transactions compatible is still being researched. Parity, for example, has developed technology for users who want to construct applications that use Ethereum's code and ecosystem, but operate on Polkadot. Finally, developers can leverage Polkadot's development framework to replicate an Ethereum blockchain for use in their bespoke blockchain designs. Here is why Polkadot is being referred to as an Ethereum killer. These blockchains have self-executing code that allows them to do more than just log payments. They enable us to create various applications that do not rely on third parties to function, not simply payment applications. As a result, they can eliminate the middleman in various routine encounters. It can communicate with different systems. Ethereum is the cryptocurrency industry's most effective running distributed ledger at the moment. Unfortunately, the Ethereum network hasn't been able to keep up with the cryptocurrency's rapid expansion. The system is slow, congested, and expensive. Furthermore, it is incompatible with other networks. Polkadot's parachains help to alleviate traffic congestion. Polkadot solves these issues with parachains. Rather than putting all the apps on the same system, it has its small distributed ledger, which links it to the central chain. In reality, this means that if demand for one application spikes, it won't affect the performance of other Polkadot blockchain applications. Consider it in the same manner that side roads divert traffic away from a congested thoroughfare. Since its inception, it has increased by almost 630%. DOT was first traded at $2.76 per coin when it was released in August 2020. CoinMarketCap valued it at $20.21, representing a 630% growth in less than a year. It has the potential to make significant gains in the coming year, but it also has the potential to fall even further. You can weather any short-term losses by investing for the long term. It has a rapidly expanding developer pool. Because the Bitcoin business is so new, comparing projects and understanding the basics can be challenging. Market capitalizations can be deceiving. Coins utilize various validation methods and solve multiple problems, and there is relatively little historical data available. Polkadot is still up against very tough competition. Polkadot is a fascinating idea with a lot of promise, as the 5 criteria above demonstrate. However, other cryptocurrencies compete in this market. Only a few cryptocurrencies have been able to compete with Ethereum thus far. There will most likely be room for multiple players in the long term, but not all of them will succeed. One significant security breach would be enough to erode trust and eliminate Polkadot or any of the others from contention. Other players to keep an eye on in the programmable blockchain sector include Cardano is a fictional character, ADA. EOS, Electronic Operating System, EOS. NEO, New Earth Observation, NEO. Polkadot may be purchased from the most prominent cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States. Keep in mind that all Bitcoin investments come with a certain level of risk. Prices can be pretty unpredictable, so investing money you can't afford to lose isn't a good choice. And if you want to keep learning, how about checking out this video on Ethereum on screen now?